I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Let's find out if we're live. Is it live? Is it real? Check it out. Oh, yeah. Is it live? Is it real? Check it out. Oh, yeah. You view my channel, please. It says upcoming. We're not live. Not live. No, this says we're live. It says we're live, but I'm not showing live. Why? Poor K. Oh, now it says I'm live. Awesome. All right. Just so everybody's aware, this is going to be an incredibly stupid stream. And the reason why it's going to be an incredibly stupid stream, let me just make sure that I am actually, yes, I am actually. Okay, we're going to be doing a little bit of Front Wrangler. Now, I'm going to be partaking in libations. I have a whiskey and water. I have a very large whiskey and water. So it will be getting drunked. There will be drunking going on. I'm going to move this there so that you can see me. Not that you really care, or maybe you do, maybe you don't. Dogs, they're panting. They're panting at my feet. I would show you the dogs at my feet, but well, that would involve me showing my less than dressed nether regions. So you'll just have to take me at my word. So, uh, did Josh hack Merb stream? No. This is an education from our good friend Michael Kaiser, who doesn't know fuck all from fuck all if it isn't drug related, and he's going to teach us about what slander, defamation of character, and libel is. And so that everybody is aware, defamation is the umbrella term for libel and slander. In other words, all slander is defamation, and all libel is defamation. But not all defamation is slander, and not all defamation is libel. But all defamation is either slander or libel. So let's see, what would this be akin to? This would be akin to what is a pistol, a firearm, and a shotgun. It's that level of comprehension. And yes, I did see that CJ is representing Texas Sheepdog, and I do feel bad for Texas Sheepdog. Not necessarily that CJ won't be a zealous advocate, but this is a first degree felony. So Texas Sheepdog is facing, I think it's a minimum of 10 years, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm not licensed to practice in Texas, so I could be wrong. But I think it's a 10-year minimum. And I think that it's a 99-year maximum for a first degree felony. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather have a more experienced attorney, someone who has multiple trials under their belt, who maybe has a way around the DAs, who knows the ins and outs, knows how to wrangle a deal, etc. So the other part of this title, we're back to the Kaiser video that is or should be concerning, is that again he's going to a sheriff who is not necessarily college educated, not necessarily a law school graduate, not necessarily an attorney, but maybe. I don't know who this Jamie Noel is, but if your claim to fame is that you're a sheriff, you're probably not kind of down on civil causes of action. Criminal law is probably going to be more your forte. I mean, I'm not saying that you're going to be an expert on it like a lawyer would be, but it's probably going to be more your forte. So already he's kind of batting 0 for 1,000, but this guy's voice fucking kills me. I don't know how long we'll make it. Certainly, if I run out of alcohol, we're done for the night because I'm not refilling this with any alcohol because I do have to work tomorrow, and I have as much alcohol in there as I can handle in one night to do this. So we're gonna turn it up. We're gonna go 1.5, and hopefully I can stay sane. Not day Monday 2.0. How much Texas gear does this guy have? That is that is a lot of University of Texas gear for someone who didn't fucking go to the University of Texas. And I mean, I don't really follow the lore. I like to listen to Josh and his crew kind of drone on because normally they're always telling like a mishmash of stories. So if you have to walk away for a half hour, you walk right back in and you just pick up because it's a whole new story, right? It doesn't even matter. Like it's really easy to listen to without feeling like you're missing anything because they never really talk about anything that needs to be talked about. But a lot of times on the Kaiser segments, I just I just walk away. You just got to walk away. By the way, Merb can't see. You can't see. What do you mean you can't see? Oh, window capture. Window capture. It was working last time. Display capture. We're going to go up here. No, we're going to go display capture. We're going to go to fucking boomer properties. Okay. Yay. I don't know why it did what it did, but it's doing what it's doing. So, uh, y'all can go fuck yourself now. Back to this guy with his abundance of University of Texas gear, his ridiculous thin blue line flag because he's a fucking faggot, Stockholm syndrome guy. Well, so defamation causes of action are civil causes of action. Now, uh, there there is a thing called group libel, which what's that fucking idiot's name? Eline had discussed. Well, Eline mentioned group defamation. A There is also a thing called group libel, which certain states have implemented that criminalizes certain language used to paint groups in a certain fashion. Um, but that's a very narrow subset of defamation, slander, and libel. 99.9% of all defamation, which would be slander and libel, is going to be a civil cause of action. So you don't actually break the law, if that makes sense. There's no audio from the video.
I know it'll be a little bit more technical and more feeling like it's a classroom instruction, but I think that I'll do my best to make it as entertaining for you guys as we can.
This motherfucker's going to give us a classroom instruction. This guy who's never once sat in a fucking class about slander or libel is going to give us classroom instruction. I can't fucking wait.
But I think it's kind of an important thing to go over, especially with, you know, with JJ and I, apparently, according to him, waiting any day for the damn IDF or Delta or SEAL Team 6 to be kicking down our door and take us into custody because we made fun of his stupidity. And remember, these situations that we make fun of and we correct, we didn't create the situations. They did. And not only did he create this shit, he recorded it and then distributed it. We didn't make him do that. No one held a sidearm to his bald head and made him go out and do criminal shit and catch a baker's dozen charges. Nobody.
None of this, by the way, none of this is criminal. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, criminal.
Made him put hands on a police officer, but he did. So, I digress. Let's carry on. Let's see who else here tonight. And, of course, my beautiful wife, my sexy soulmate, Niz. Good evening. Hey, give hi, Andy. Come on, Wolf, buddy. James Baker. Thank you for joining. Thanks, man. It's great to see you. And, hey there, Miss Tampax, sir. Hey, Mark, 98 woman. Well, Fred Von Hoops, Pamela Needhog. In fact, lying liars, lie. Audit is he wants you to go back and kiss. Thank you for taking care of all that. Oh, North Georgia audit is why don't you go back and kiss Georgia Transparency's Act, paint you in a different light because of you despise. So I tried working on a video that would have painted you in a different light because of the shit you went through. And then I see you turned in.
NF Cat says, what if his law degree from Texas is not real? It's not real. I don't know. This isn't a video. This is a live stream that's going on tonight. Apparently it's over now because, well, maybe it is still live. I don't know. But I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
And to the hypocritical son of a bitch that you claim to despise. So, yeah, hey, you know what I can't believe, everybody, is that...
I can't believe this motherfucker leaves the house with that haircut. That's what I can't believe. Oh, wait, he doesn't. Ha ha!
North Georgia audit here that he pals around with a scumbag like Russie.
You know, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird and awkward that a convicted felon, someone who's gone through the legal process and been convicted, who is currently facing a bunch of felonies, it's kind of weird that he would call someone else like you know, pot calling the kettle black. One of the things that Kaiser really has an issue with is people like calling him a scumbag and trying to drive away the people who hang out with him because they're hanging out with a fucking scumbag. But then he talks about other people hanging out with fucking scumbags. Like, I don't even, it doesn't even fucking make sense. Like, why would you do that? Why, basically, you're casting a spotlight onto your biggest fucking issue that you're a goddamn scumbag. Jesus Christ.
That's totally pitiful. So ain't nobody here afraid of you or your damn Colonel Sanders tattoo. So, you know, and here's
talking about bad tattoos. This motherfucker has like stolen valor tattoos on him. Like, okay, bro.
The thing, the reason that you've gotten away with as much of your frauditing bullshit as you have is because of the time you did for the crime you didn't actually commit. But I'm telling you right now, you, just like any other frauder, are going to abuse that. And that, when they start adding up the points for your next conviction, it's not going to be a discount.
Says the man who's looking at his next conviction.
So, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Hey there,
I'm
good to see you. Hey, Captain Kern, welcome back, buddy. Of course. And it was a misdemeanor, isn't it? And the lovely like you did. Thank you for that. Childress, good to see you. Good to see you. And Miss our Wrangler family members, Carl, the last squirrel's back. There, big sis. It's been a pleasant week, pal. Kenny Davers, good. Kowalski, how the hell are you, my friend? God be with you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining. Kevin Compton. And Miss Laura. There she is. Fat damn brother. What's shaking? Considered a cuss word in. Well, Mark Doherty, to tell you the truth, that's considered a cuss word in this house. Kenny says it's a cuss word to say, Michael, you're right. Hey there, Stephen Major. Welcome back.
Kimmy isn't in that house, motherfucker. Kimmy's not in that house. Like, what the fuck? Wouldn't your mom, whose house it is, wouldn't she be in control of what is or isn't a cuss word in that house? Fuck you, dude. When are we going to get to the lesson?
Gen CT is your hubby doing tonight. I haven't seen him yet. Georgia Trans Battery doesn't have a revoked medical clearance for his fixed-wing aircraft operator's license. Miss Karen, but not a Karen, welcome back. There, King Bluto, it's good to see you again. Captain Kern, and if we can do anything else for you, bro, you know how to get a hold of me, sir. 29 Mom Bear, 21, the newest Roughnecks.
Speaking of, if there's anything I could do for you, you know how to get a hold of me. Like, what the fuck is this homebound motherfucker gonna do? Is he gonna get his fat ass up out of that chair and like walk out and not set off your ankle monitor? What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to help anybody? Uh oh. There is a bunny right there, and there is a very excited Siobhan right there. You best get the fuck out of here. Hop along, Cassidy. Oh, the stocking and the bunny's gone. Bunny's gone. Made it through the fence. No bunnies were harmed today.
Mackie B.
Absolutely orange cones. This guy's voice is like the pinnacle of annoying. I don't know. I don't know how Josh does it. If you look, there might be a roll call ends in the comments. Yeah, but then I have to look at the comments, bro.
Thank you for joining us tonight, ma'am. Been lately. Yes, Patrick Murphy, you come back, brother. Thank you for joining us tonight. And
Writes on says Kaiser wears apple bottom jeans. I don't know, man. Kaiser probably doesn't wear pants. He probably wears diapers because he sits in that fucking chair all day long.
Everybody, critter number 3. Thank you for joining us, man. One of the big reason for one of the damn true statement. Chrissy, don't fear. Sir, just going to bring that line from Construed. Welcome. I'm glad that we did. And Misconstrued, if you would.
Why do people tune in for this bullshit? What the fuck is wrong with people?
Would make sure how it goes either with us. Hey, there. All right, there he is. JDL. Hey, girl, how you? Thank you so much. Hey there, Creighton Ravs. What you know good, buddy?
Ryan says the weed, Burb. That's how it does it. Yes, I'm sure the weed lubricates Josh's ability to watch this fucking nonsense. 35 minutes of roll call. 2 hours back.
I mean, he literally scammed his subs last night. He literally. Hey, Dixie. I would agree with you on that. To actually defraud the people who are that I won't know what he's doing. He doesn't. Had the cataracts thing coming up. You had typed in earlier. And Miss Candace, how are you feeling? Great to see you. Into StreamYard. It starts at a certain spot. And where you had typed in earlier, it cut that one off and started here and went down. It wasn't that I forgot you, ma'am, and I'm so terribly sorry. Anyway, Miss Candace, how are you feeling? And I know you had the cataracts thing coming up. Did you get that done yet? Which last night. I mean, there's no point, dude. Don't worry. There's no point in you doing, and that's the dumbest thing is that he thinks if he has some members only live stream, then I won't know what he's doing. He doesn't think that people all over are down screen recording his bullshit. I mean, come on.
Why do you pay attention to what he says? Why do you watch what he says? If you don't like the guy, why do you watch what he says? I'm watching you right now because you're apparently allegedly going to give out legal education on defamation. If you don't like this guy that you call dumbwaiter, why the fuck do you watch him? I know why Josh watches you, because you're a fucking lolcow, and he can get people to watch his stream watching you instead of people going to watch your stream watching you, giving you the clicks and views.
Pitiful. So yeah, hey Chris, question: what's it like to actually defraud the people who are actually dumb enough to subscribe to you and believe you?
See, that right there would probably be defamation. Now, there's a lot of caveats before you can actually recover from it, but accusing someone of defrauding, probably defamation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would, Nova, I would agree with you on that, but I don't believe that he could get it written before he ate the pink crayon. Now, that's just my opinion.
Probably not defamation.
And so, now, me and JJ have been accused of all kinds of garbage.
That's because you're fucking idiots and you're a goddamn felon. And JJ's about as dumb as the chair you're sitting on.
Hey, Dixie, how's Nova doing? Feel like we haven't got to see him in a while. Hey there, Kentucky Shady Lady. Welcome back. I hope you're happy. Accused me of grifting, but he literally, I mean, the dude literally accused me of grifting.
You're a fucking grifter. You are a grifter. Michael Kaiser, you are a grifter. You're a stolen valor grifter. Sue me.
Of scamming. As he literally ran a scam.
You are literally scamming. And this whole thing about like this whataboutism, so stupid. It doesn't matter what someone else did. If you defame them, they can sue you, regardless of what they did. If you defame them, they can sue you.
I mean, he literally scammed his subs last night.
You've said this. Move on.
Shit. Thank you, Nightman's wife. Thank you for reminding me. Hang on. I can take care of this. Damn it, Michael.
Literally, this is clearly, yeah.
Hey there, chicken noodle soup. Welcome back.
Jesus, are we still in fucking roll call?
Welcome, Dragon Lady Craft. And I'd like to tell all 5 of them, on behalf of me and my apparent forgetfulness, was basically me paying penance. As of last night, unless it's Chrissy. Because, yeah, my cousin's name was the same, and we just lost him, and I'm telling you right now, he was a good man. So I want.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
So, as you can see, I did that, and yeah, well, I paid for it. You know what? Actually, it just got pointed out to me. Hey, Dixie, I was meaning to ask you how is Grumpy doing, apparently. But yeah, so again, I've never, anywhere I've been in life, I've never come across such hypocrites as dumbwaiter and party. Oh.
A massive hypocrite calling other people hypocritical? Fucking amazing.
Holy shnikes. And everybody, Fred Van Hoos. Wow. Yo, lay low, Grip, Skiddly, Tyler, Caught Me White. Hoos. I want to tell you, to those 20 names that just, and Tiffy and Dumb, really calling him Tubby. I mean, look at, I mean, you got one that enjoyed getting so tubby so much that he got a tattoo of Colonel Sanders. Yes, the KFC Colonel Sanders on the side of his neck.
Again, why the fuck are you talking about other people's tattoos? You got stolen valor tattoos, dude.
Hey there, Jesse Logie. And the lovely Miss Lisa Wade for $10 Canadian says, I'm still slow on myself and trying to restore. And that I do want to apologize that I don't have as much.
This is like, this is forever. The internet is forever. Forever, Lisa Wade will be known for having supported a convicted felon with pending felony charges, and he's the same guy who's the #1 suspect in a fucking murder investigation. And it's like people go out of their way to prove how fucking stupid they are.
Time to, read the entire chat during the stream, and I am sorry about that. I wish that.
I can't believe people watch this. This is fucking. This hurts.
I could, I wish I could read more of it and comment on more of it. I truly do. So, and what's worse is on the StreamYard side, on my side, what I'm looking at right now, it only puts up about 6 separate chats from you guys. And then, boom, they're gone, and there's another 6 sitting there. So, unfortunately, a lot of times it may seem like I'm just picking favorites, and it's not. It's like when somebody puts in a super, this StreamYard side blows it up in color and everything else. But other than that, it really just is luck of the draw and me being able to see it. Texas, man, lotto.
What's in the mason jar? It's bourbon and water and ice.
What's up, Bubba? Well, Pepsi Pickles. Think about how many frauditors. Seriously, think about how much of this frauditor trash wanted that you're making it back over to there, bro.
When are we going to get to the defamation?
Willing application to be a policeman. Guaranteed. That would be my bet. And Mrs. Sinden Hennis, everyone in to post him didn't trust him with that kind of authority, with that kind of power. And since in Russie's file at the jail, he received 63. Yeah, that's right. 63 grievances filed against him in 20 months. It'd actually be later than that because of, him having to train before, for a little bit before he was, actually put to work. And then the reason that he was forced to resign and turn in his badge was because he tried running an FMLA scam. after he used up all of his allotted paid and unpaid leave days. He tried to keep going with it. And they told him
An FMLA scam where you request time off under the Family Medical Leave Act, Family Medical Leave Act. But that's a scam, apparently. Requesting time off under the FMLA is a scam. So if they fired him they didn't fire him for fucking requesting it. I guarantee you, they would have fired him because he requested it, they denied it, and then he took the time off anyway. But he didn't have time available to cover it, so it was a unauthorized absence. I'll bet you a nickel that's why. Fucking Christ. Like, scammy FMLA. He had 63 grievances. How many grievances does your buddy JJ have, asswipe? How many grievances? And just because someone makes complaint, like, how many complaints have you made about dumbwaiter or anybody else? And what, you're going to count up all those? And like all of a sudden, magically at a certain point, it means something? It's just a fucking grievance, you goddamn idiot.
no more. So he was forced to resign. And
he was forced to resign. That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. If you get caught, scamming the government, they don't force you to resign. They fucking fire you. Like, what kind of retard buys this bullshit? If they catch you scamming the government, number one, they fire you, and number two, they bring a goddamn charges against you. Fucking Christ.
But seriously, think about it. 63 in 20 months. Hey.
Think about it. Okay, I'm thinking about it. 63 in 20 months. How many different individuals filed a grievance? Could those all 63, could they all have been filed by the same person? How many of those were found to have merit to the point where there was an actual investigation? Of the ones that had an actual investigation, how many of those were found to actually be sufficient to base punishment for GT on? How many made it to the investigatory stage? And further, how many made it to the discipline stage? He's not going to tell you. Number one, he doesn't fucking know. And number two, I'll bet you that despite whatever you may think of GT, I'll bet you the number was pretty fucking low. Who is this dude? My name is John. I'm a first-year family law attorney out of California. And I'm an alcoholic or something like that.
Hey there, Troll Media Group. Good to see you. Welcome back, Bubba. Well, I appreciate the heads up on that, TMG. I'm going to have to... I almost forgot about that little idiot. What's up, Eric Clears 212? And Mason Glitterman, formerly known as Poster 7 Misconception LB, for $5 says, a petition to remove the Liberty Trolls Wick Office video with children film. Well, everybody, I can't tell everyone else what to do. But I can tell you, as soon as... Hey, Scott.
Goddamn. Petitioning
down. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. We're out on COs. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm telling you flat out, it is a rarity. And like it or not, down South 225, what's shaking? One of the reasons is for the simple fact that when one of these frauditors gets their feelings hurt, and hey, Marcus Dark Elias, good to see you, buddy, and Miss Glam Girl, what's up, little sis? One of the reasons is because, like it or not, there's no real easy way. Don't file on COs. Is buddy and down South 225, what's shaking? That
like does he can he ever finish a fucking sentence?
And on COs. Inmates do not file. Inmates do not put paper out on COs.
You are so fucking full of shit. This motherfucker wants people to believe that inmates don't fucking file complaints on COs. This motherfucker wants you dumbass motherfuckers watching this shit to think that inmates don't file grievances left, right, and motherfucking center. Like it's the one avenue of power they have over the COs. It's the one power they have over COs is to file grievances and then file 1983 lawsuits. I mean, I guess if you're in the fucking special kids unit where you have to be by yourself all the time because the other inmates are gonna take your virginity or some shit because they know you look like a goddamn anal suppository shaped like a butt plug. If you're in that special place, maybe you do suck up to the COs all the time. But I have had actual discussions with an actual attorney who actually worked for some Virginia. I don't know which Virginia district court it was. He was a law clerk there, and it was his job at the time that he worked there to go through all of the informa pauperis filings and determine whether or not they had any fucking merit to them before he would move them along. And he went through hundreds of them a week. Hundreds of them a week. And he is one law clerk. And he went through hundreds of them a week. And the number that he found to be without merit, just by reading it, just looking at it on its face, was, he said, almost all of them. Now, I don't know what that means. I didn't ask him for a number. He probably wouldn't have a percentage off the top of his head. And if he did have one, it'd probably be made up. But it's a fucking industry. Who's the guy who initially took over the lawsuit against Leon Valley? I forget the guy's name, but he made his money. He made the bulk of his money up in Illinois, picking up informa pauperis lawsuits that made it past the screening. So what he would do is he would look at all the informa pauperis filings that made it through, and he would contact read the complaints, and he would contact prisoners and be like, hey, I will represent you with no charge to you. And basically he would go for the attorney fees portion, or he would agree to take it on contingency. That's how he made his money. Because even though the vast majority of them get rejected at filing, there's still so many that there's a plethora to choose from. And not every complaint that the inmates have is unfounded, but I mean, just like any tattletale ever, there's going to be dozens and dozens of complaints. Just him trying to sell me that inmates don't make complaints on corrections officer. Like, I guess I should check my fucking driver's license to see if I really was born yesterday.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm telling you flat out, it is a rarity.
Cite your source. Is this from when you were in prison? You didn't make complaints? Did you poll the other inmates while you were in there? I mean, when you weren't sucking their dick to try to keep them from knocking out more of your teeth, right?
And like it or not, down South 225, what's shaking? One of the reasons is for the simple fact that when one of these frauditors gets their feelings hurt, and hey, Marcus Darkelius,
we went from prisoners to frauditors. Okay,
good to see you, buddy. And Miss Flam Girl, what's up, little sis?
Didn't GT work at a jail? I thought he worked at a jail. Maybe I'm wrong.
One of the reasons is because, like it or not, there's no real easy way to paint this, so I'm just going to call it. One of the reasons inmates don't file.
So he went from inmates to frauditors to inmates. Okay, I'm tracking.
On COs is because they still have to be locked up with them. They are in charge. All right, it's different than when when. Well,
no. See, here's the thing, Kaiser, you stupid fuck. The COs have a constant duty to follow the policy, follow the rules, to make nice and treat the prisoners well so that they don't get their 1983 lawsuits to be actually founded, so that they don't get, I don't know, sued out of their house and home. Jesus motherfucking Christ. Like, you can file all of the grievances you want on a CEO, and then if the CEO takes revenge on you, then you could file a grievance on the CEO for taking revenge on you, and that would probably be founded. It would probably be investigated and may have merit.
And dumbwaiter goes and files one of his bogus complaints against a police officer that just, the only thing he did wrong.
So wait a minute. Hold on a second. Call me stupid. But doesn't a police officer still have power over you? Doesn't a police officer have a gun and a badge and a bulletproof vest and a taser and handcuffs and authority to, I don't know, use deadly force if necessary? So using the logic, and I use logic very loosely, that Kaiser has presented, using that logic, the inmate won't make a complaint about the CO because the CO still has power over him, but dumbwaiter will make him complain over the cop because the cop doesn't have power over him? You know what? I saw Go Behind the Lines in here somewhere. Go Behind the Lines. I asked him. I asked him before we streamed if he had any 1983 lawsuits that had been filed on him, and he said, yeah, he had a bunch of them. He said you can't work in a jail without having inmates file corrections, right? So you can't work in a jail without having inmates file complaints. So, yeah.
Wrong was not back down from it. All right. And guess what? He goes in and fills out his bullshit full of lies. He turns it in. He records himself doing it.
So when dumbwaiter does it, it's bullshit full of lies. But when random prisoners who you've never met, who you have no idea whether what they say is true or not, when they do it, it must be true. So it's kind of weird. The way this works is anybody who says anything bad about someone I don't like must be telling the truth, and anybody who says anything bad about someone I do like must be lying. Math.
And then he goes home. Hey there, Gus to the Sea. Good to see you. And Miss Winbrew, how is our favorite book reviewer doing tonight? For $1.99 says, credit from being very, very late. Well, Miss Winbrew, you're still recovering from a bitch of a surgery. And when it doesn't go through because it's bullshit, think about it. Company tries putting bogus paper out on a CO. And when it doesn't go through because it's bullshit, think about it. Common sense, guys. No inmate.
Think about it. Common sense. Okay, he files another one. That's what I'm thinking. Or he files one again just to see if he can't make the correction officer's life a little bit harder, right? What does this dumb motherfucker thinks that in prison or in jail where there's cameras everywhere, where you cannot retaliate against an inmate for making a complaint, he thinks that the cops, that the COs are going to come in and start kicking ass because you made a complaint about him? Yeah, so you Go Behind the Line says inmates file 1983 lawsuits all the time. I'm sure that they file complaints all the time. And I'm sure that 99.9% of the complaints they file are unfounded. Just so we know, I have had auditors and auditor affiliated file lots and lots, or so I'm told, of bar complaints against me. They've made complaints to the California State Bar about me. I'm so charming and pretty, I don't know why they would, but they have. I know for a fact, for example, that Earl David Warden has made bar complaints against me. because he's posted pictures of them. He sent me copies of them, for fuck's sake, right? And you know how many times I have been contacted by the California State Bar about complaints made by auditors against me? Exactly none. Exactly zero number of times. So if people are making unfounded complaints everywhere else in the motherfucking world, why wouldn't people who are, I don't know, criminals who have a problem? See, here's another thing, another fun fact about criminals is they tend to have this real fucking problem, I don't know, controlling themselves. Having self-restraint. They see something they want and they try to take it. That's what makes them criminals. Your average person, your average non-criminal, says, you know what? I really like that car over there. I'll have to work hard and save up, and maybe someday I'll be able to get one. A criminal says, I really want that car over there. I'm going to take it. Why? Because they don't have self-restraint. They don't have self-control. They don't have the ability to think about the fucking consequences, to think about what's going to happen in the future, and to adjust their behavior accordingly. And yet, for some magical reasons that no one can explain to me, at least not Kaiser, once they're in jail, once they're in prison, all of a sudden they are the pinnacle of self-control. They are the pinnacle of thinking ahead to what might happen to them if they make a fucking complaint. And still, while they're doing this, they don't get law degrees. And they don't figure out that, I don't know, if the CO retaliates against them for having made a complaint, the CO will get in trouble. Crazy.
Hey, wants to be stuck, locked up 24/7 with not only the CO that they put bullshit paperwork on, they're locked up with his friends too. And, you know, that's just the way that is.
Because it's a big fucking gang in prison, according to Kaiser. The COs just roll around dispensing punishment left, right, and center. Fuck the 8th Amendment, dog. Fuck the 8th Amendment. That doesn't apply in prison, according to Michael fucking Kaiser.
So if 63, less than 20 months, 63, less than 20 months, that's somebody that is effing people over so bad.
No, you have not done the calculus. You have not shown us how many of those had merit. I mean, if he was, in fact, fucking over people, then why wasn't he fired for the fucking complaints? Why was he fired for the fucking complaints? Oh, he was fired for scamming for FMLA. Oh, wait, he wasn't even fired. He was asked to resign. Jesus fucking Christ.
That they say to hell with the common sense. They say to hell with what is practiced on a daily basis that has been going on for years. That he was screwing them over so bad that they said to hell with it. And they risked it, putting paper on him 63 times.
Putting paper on him. They put paper on him 63 times. Keep hammering that number 63 times. How many had merit?
Remember, when, you know, and that's what's funny now, is that we've come full circle. Russie has gone from...
Yeah, we have come full circle. Because you have circular logic, you dumb fuck.
Getting paper put on him by citizens. 2, putting bogus paper on officers.
Having paper put on him by citizens or inmates? Citizens or inmates? What fucking crazy-ass world is Kaiser in where a citizen making a complaint about a cop is somehow bad, but a inmate making a complaint about a corrections officer is somehow good? Like, what if, just work with me here, what if GT was arrested by the cop, your magical cop who can do no wrong, right? And then he was put in jail. What if GT made complaints about the COs then? Would you be saying, well, those actually have to be founded? Because GT would be scared about making a complaint that was unfounded. Right? Right? And who the fuck cut your hair? Oh, that's a goddamn crime right there, dude. Who the fuck cut your hair? Jesus. You go on camera with that. You fucking shave between your eyebrows? But you still go on camera with that fucking haircut? Holy Christ.
I mean, hell, he can't even be a private investigator or as armed security in the state of Georgia. You want to know why? Because the secretary.
Can you? Can you, Michael Kaiser? Can you? Oh, wait. You're on house arrest. You're a fucking felon. Can you?
Of the state of Georgia yanked his license to do so after he got convicted and arrested for loitering when he was stalking a woman by hanging out in a church parking lot.
For loitering? Oh my God. Oh my God. He got convicted of loitering? Holy shit. There's like first degree murder, right? And then second degree murder, and then loitering. Your big gotcha, the burglar, the motherfucking burglar's big gotcha is loitering. But if GT is supposed to be like so upset and ashamed about his fucking loitering conviction, like what the fuck is wrong with you, burglar boy? The butt plug burglar boy. Jesus fucking Christ.
And let me ask y'all this. You know, I know we got several officers in here that have probably done off-duty gigs with that's similar to private investigation. What kind of professional PI or security person does that job? What kind of professional PI or security person?
I thought I saw someone come in from the left.
Does that job in a bathing suit, a t-shirt, and excuse my language, fucking flip-flops?
What kind of a private investigator does the job in a bathing suit, t-shirt, and a flip-flops? One that has to blend in an area where that's the manner of dress? I don't know. Like, is this another one of your big gotchas? I'm wearing a t-shirt, flip-flops, and no bathing suit. Like, what is, like, dude, like, what the fuck is your point? Like, why do I care? Why do I care that he did his job in a bathing suit, t-shirt, and a flip-flops? Why do I care? Who cares?
And better than that, doesn't even know where his sidearm is.
When? Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, if you lose your firearm, sure, that's a bad thing. But was he charged with it? Or was he not under any obligation to tell them where his sidearm was? I mean, I can see why he might say, I don't know, where's the sidearm? I don't know, because I don't want you to fucking go find it, so I don't know. They know I have a sidearm, so I'm not gonna say I don't have one. But if they ask me where it is, I'm gonna say I don't know. Well, I wouldn't actually recommend saying that. I would just say, I'm gonna take a fifth. I want to talk to a lawyer.
And minute the lovely Miss Trixie walks is what I want for $5. Product Wrangler. I don't know about Georgia or Kentucky, but in Florida, you have to get post-certified to be a correction. Go to the post. I think, honestly, constitutional rights or freedoms inside, whether it be jail or prison, as you do on the outside, they still do have some constitutional freedoms. And I do believe it important for the men and women that have that kind of power over their constitutional rights be trained and certified to know what those rights are. And like I said, that's just my opinion. Christian B and NC, how have you been, Bubba? You've ever been locked up before? But, if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's just, I've been to prison twice, and I've been locked up several more times. And I've never
been to prison twice for loitering? Been to prison twice. Do you go to prison for loitering? Is loitering a felony? In order to go to prison, you got to commit, felony. Lisa White asks me what I'm pounding on over there. It's my dick. I'm pounding on my dick, Lisa. Do you want to see? Do you want to see, Lisa? Let me know. We can make shit happen, Lisa. You've ruined my train of thought. But yeah, you don't get prison time unless you've committed felonies. So he's been to prison twice. He's admitting he's had at least 2 felonies.
Ever seen it happen. You know, and that is what it is. Hey there, Miss Mindy Kaling. Welcome back. Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but today, I'm going to tell y'all what, Oklahoma was like down Alabama with the humidity. Jesus. That damn humidity's had my damn contacts dried out all day.
You've been inside, motherfucker. It's the AC that's kept you dry.
Y'all bear with me. And, you know, and that's what actually sucks about contacts is you can't use regular eye drops. Actually, the only thing that you can use if you have contacts in is, you know, contact solution.
Dwavico says, don't tell the other inmates. They hate loiterers. Yeah, they put you in protective custody in the solitary wing if you're a loiterer.
Oh, you're yes, Miss. No, that's going on the board. Mindy Kaling is 100% right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Elizabeth. But yeah, and that's precisely what happened. You know, you had the soft sits that were already doing their lunatic shit. That was already going down. And, you know, then you had cop watchers. And by cop watchers, I mean those legitimately that. You know, they go out.
Lisa asks me for a crouch grab. All right, I'm crouching and I'm grabbing. You're welcome. Make sure you check out my G-String account. Donate heavily.
They keep a respectful distance. They in no way interfere.
Yes, he did admit to being in Oklahoma, not Texas. I don't know why he tries to keep up with his lies. Like Josh and Wally and the boys have done. I mean, they know when this guy takes a shit. So I don't even know why. I don't even know why he maintains any of his lies.
Fear with the action going on, whether that be an actual legitimate crime scene investigation, whether that be just the officers have somebody pulled over for a traffic violation. They kept a respectful distance. They didn't try to start shit to try to get a video to go viral. And so somebody sitting around drinking some of that damn Stone Vet freaking bong water came up with the idea, and now we have frauders.
Oh, he's so upset with Stone Vet because Stone Vet isn't on, I don't know, house arrest. Stone Vet doesn't get drug tested. It would be a violation of Stone Vet's bail bond for Stone Vet to have the marijuanas. Stone Vet's in a state where the marijuanas are at least at the state level legal. So you're just really pissed that Stone Vet can smoke the Mary Jane and you can't. Fucking loser. But you sure do suck on those patches there, buddy.
Grindhouse Hair Metal Hurricane. I like it. Welcome back, buddy. And that was what happened is because all these jurisdictions where basically if you didn't set somebody on fire, you were going to get a better than reasonable bail. And
yeah, but what about loitering? If you got caught loitering, then what? They throw the book at you?
And it wound up going down like a plague. And now damn near every jurisdiction is having to go back.
So I'm not as young apparently as Michael Kaiser is. I've been following the Cop Watch and First Amendment auditing movement since about 2013, which, if my math is correct, was about 6 years, 7 years or so, 6 to 7 years before the pandemic. It's been about 4 years since. So most of the First Amendment auditing has happened before, and now auditors come and go. There are a few good ones who manage to stick through it and still make money and still do audits and not just resort to playing other people's videos. But a lot of them wash out. But they've been doing it. They've been doing it for a long ass time. And I found it in 2013. It didn't start in 2013. So it's been going on for a hot minute.
Back, and they're actually now having to create laws. They're having to write laws to deal.
They've been trying to deal with this kind of situation for a long time, and I would be impressed to see one of these laws last long term. We'll see though.
With these idiots, where the only people really inconvenienced are the actual taxpaying citizens that have to abide by it now. Most people walk into a damn courthouse or a city hall, and yeah, they have a phone. It's in their pocket. They're not trying to record people. They're not trying to start shit. They're not doing like what's this little moron with the WIC office I can't ever remember his name. I mean, but then again, that shows really how insignificant he is.
But you watched his shit.
And Lucinda Saunders, we are more than happy to have you here, and we're glad that you made it. If you make sure that your memberships are turned on using that little 3 dot thing at the top of the chat, we'll see if we can't get you one tonight. Yes, thank you, FW. Yeah, Liberty Troll. And it's the ladies who are in there with their children that suffer because of this. You know, it's bad enough that their bank account.
See, why do you need these laws though? Like, so he's talking about laws that are designed to prevent people from filming police interactions up close to the point where they actually interfere with the police interaction. And then he switches over to a WIC center where that WIC center probably has policies in place that would allow them to trespass someone or to restrict filming or something along those lines, which is completely separate, different, and apart from these new laws that are designed to prevent people from filming police in such a manner as to actually interfere with the police stop. It's like they're not related. Like, how dumb are you that drunk me? Because yes, I am about halfway through, but I'm drunk. Drunk me can figure out that you're fucking stupid and you're mixing situations. But see, watch this shifty motherfucker's eyes. What he does is he's constantly looking at his chat. He's constantly reading his chat, and he can't focus and read the chat at the same time. Probably because he's ruined his brain on drugs, and also, additionally, probably because he wasn't very smart to start with. Do you know who Joel Chandler is in the auditing community? The name doesn't ring a bell. I might have seen his stuff. I might not. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't really watch much anymore. I still watch Jeff Gray because I like Jeff Gray, but I don't watch much other auditors. Well, Orange Cones. One good stiff drink probably has me like this, and by the time I finish this, depending on depending on how fast it goes, I'll probably be done. But I'm not quite up to the Ricada levels of drinking yet. So he's got me beat by a few 8 balls and a few bottles.
Their resources, their income.
And yes, Joey Simpson, Jeff Gray is the gold standard. The dude is a great auditor.
It's bad enough that those things are so low for those ladies that they are having to go in there and ask for help. That's bad enough. But it's what the fuck with the Constitution? What does the Constitution have to do with this walking after birth, going in and humiliating these women and their children?
Well, see, it's the First Amendment. It's the First Amendment. That's what it has to do with. And you have a right to speech, and the government has barriers in restricting your right to speech. And so, to test whether or not the restrictions that the government has put in place are consistent with the Constitution, these people go in and film. That's what it has to do with it. I don't know how long this motherfucker has been watching these videos, and he still hasn't figured out what the Constitution has to do with it. The First Amendment, by the way, for those of you who aren't in the know, is the same amendment that restricts the government from punishing you for defamation, slander, and libel. Slander and libel, i.e. defamation, are, even though they're it's a civil suit, even though it's a private cause of action, it ends up being the court, which is a part of the government, that imposes the judgment. Right? So, a defamation law has to withstand constitutional scrutiny. Now, normally they do, right? But it could be that a state wants to eliminate the requirement that a defamatory statement has to be a false statement. Maybe a state wants to eliminate that. Well, then maybe we start getting into issues where can that happen? A famous situation is the New York Times versus Sullivan. So in that situation, the court created a whole new actual malice standard because if they didn't have the actual malice standard, which basically makes it easier to say what would otherwise be defamatory things about politicians. It's been extended to other public figures, but initially it was targeted at politicians. The Martin Luther King and his group had taken out an advertisement saying that uh, I think the Attorney General of a southern state like Alabama did a bad or whatever. Anyway, so the governor of that state sued them for under the state's defamation laws, and under that state's defamation laws, as written, it was defamation. But they took it up to the Supreme Court on First Amendment grounds, and the Supreme Court said, "Yeah, you've got to have this actual malice standard in there for public figures." And basically what that means is that the person has to know, the person who says the bad thing has to know that it's false, or has to act with reckless disregard as to the truth or falsity of the statement. So, like, basically, you have to be kind of on notice that there's a good chance it's actually a lie, right? So,
already having to freaking cough up enough at their dignity to go in there and ask for the help. Yeah, it pisses me off.
well, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on, right?
And you got a problem with it, dumbwaiter?
And here's a stupid thought. I don't know. If it turns out that they can film in those areas, then why don't you just tell the people in there that you don't want to do business until the person leaves? And there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I'm not trying to say that I want to see people in Social Security offices or WIC offices or whatever doing that. That's not my particular cup of tea. I don't think it's. I think that a state or the federal government is well within the bounds as we know it of the Constitution to restrict filming in those areas where there's sensitive information being passed back and forth. But if it's not, then, safeguard your information. Warren Monkdahl says, so are you claiming Wrangler is wrong in the public forum doctrine and how it works? I haven't heard Wrangler's stance on the public forum doctrine and how it works, but he's probably wrong. Joey Simpson says, Wrangler is probably wrong as fuck about his interpretation of the forum doctrine. Probably. But I don't know, because he hasn't said anything about it. We might get there tonight. We might not, depending on how long this booze lasts.
You got a problem with it, North Georgia audit? Tiffy, you got a problem with it?
The word diligent. That's spelled P-I-L-L-I-G-I-M.
Rhetorical, but the answer is no. And First Gen Trucker, everybody, has donated 5 Fraud Wrangler memberships. Thank you so much, brother. And they've gone to Miss Irish.
Look at this motherfucker rubbing his hands when he... Fuck. Caricature.
Dublin, old school. Mr. Mike Adams. Oh, wow. I guess that fifth one somehow went to somebody that's blocked. First Gen Trucker. Damn, bro. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much anyway.
So Warren Monkdahl, in an effort to show that he also does not understand the how the forum doctrine works, he says courts have now clearly established that filming is not protected under the First Amendment in limited and non-public forums. What's fucking weird, what's fucking crazy, Warren, is that if it was clearly established, then all those cases would instantly get thrown out under a 12b6 motion. All of them would. They would never progress past it. Now, the way it actually works, Warren, you stupid fucking idiot, is that in a limited or a non-public forum, it's going to be the same test. The burden lies on the person who is trying to establish that the restriction, whatever it is unconstitutional. That person has to show that there is not a legitimate government concern, and or that the restriction is not rationally related to achieving that legitimate government concern, and or that the regulation, restriction, whatever, is not reasonable. So, thank you. Fucking idiot. I mean, if it was clearly established, they would never, ever, ever have to look at the facts and make determinations and yada yada. But they do. So think to yourself, engage those few remaining synapses that you have, and figure out why the fuck the courts go through all that goddamn work and look at all the facts and try to figure out what the exact sentence structure of the restriction is and how it's being, and all this other bullshit before the judge makes a ruling on it. I mean, think about it. Oh, but First Amendment auditors have tried and failed every time. But have they? Have they, Warren? Because I've seen First Amendment auditors get fucking settlements, you stupid fucking buffoon. Guess why they got settlements, Warren? Guess? You'll have to guess. It's because the court didn't throw it out because it wasn't clearly fucking established, you goddamn knuckle-dragging moron. Now, it's a really hard, to be fair, it's really fucking hard because normally in the intermediate scrutiny, in the reasonable time, place, and manner analysis, or in the strict scrutiny analysis, the government has the burden of proof, right? The government has the burden of proof of showing that, under strict scrutiny, the government has to show that it's compelling government concern and that the restriction is narrowly tailored to achieve that compelling government concern. In fact, it is the least restrictive means of achieving that compelling government concern. And it is has to be, strict scrutiny would be, it'd have to be content neutral. It has to be content neutral, right? I'm drunk. So that's essentially the way it goes. The way it goes is that the rule of thumb is that the government wins strict scrutiny analysis. No, excuse me. The government loses strict scrutiny analysis, and the government wins the rational basis review. But yeah, Jeff Gray has gotten many payouts. He's gotten many payouts. But let's get back to the grating voice of our nemesis here tonight.
Hey, there's WV Sniper. What's shaking, brother? Edward Smolinski, great to see you. Here's the thing. That expectation of privacy in public, that actually becomes null and void as well when these monetized frauditors publish. Absolutely, Edward Smolinski, but here's the thing. Absolutely, Edward Smolinski, but here's the thing.
Why doesn't he put the comment up? What are we responding to?
That expectation of privacy in public, that actually becomes null and void as well when these monetized frauditors publish those employees' images and voices for commercial use without gaining their written consent and properly compensating them.
What does that mean? Maybe I'm not comprehending it well enough. The expectation of privacy in public becomes null and void when monetized frauditors publish their images without getting their permission. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does it mean? What the fuck does it mean? I don't know what it means. Warren Monkdahl, why don't you look up Iacobucci? Iacobucci. It's a First Circuit case. Iacobucci was filming in the hallway of a city hall at Akabuchi. IOCCOBUCCI? Something like that. Ayakabuchi. He got a payout in a limited or non-public forum. Who's the gal that was filming on the side of the road in the First Circuit? Filming on the side of the highway. Was that Garachi? Was that Garachi? I think that was Garachi. So a highway is a non-public forum. A highway is a non-public forum. You're going to say, well, isn't it a street, John? Well, you know what? You might want to fucking argue with the First Circuit on that because it is a non-public forum. I'm not trying to be an ass. Educate me. What the fuck do you think I'm doing, you nincompoop? What the fuck do you think I'm doing? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, you cretin? I'm giving you literal case names. Ayakabuchi is a case name. I don't remember the rest of it. And I'm not going to fucking Google it for you. Google it yourself, you lazy fucking bitch. The other one I think is Garachi. I want to say it's Garachi. Garachi was filming, like I was saying before you so rudely interrupted me, twat, was that Garachi, I think, was filming on a highway. And they tried to argue that it was a traditional public forum, and the First Circuit said no, it's not. But you still get to film there under the First Amendment or under the First Circuit's analysis, and they didn't even look at the at the forum doctrine. They didn't even look at it as if it was a non-public forum. They said that even in this situation, you still have the right to film, subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restriction. That's the only restriction on even in a non-public forum. Warren Monkadal. I think it was Garachi. I'm going to Google it now. Garachi, First Circuit. Garachi and Fields. This is an amicus, so that is not it. But it is. Was it Fields? Oh, it's Third Circuit. Shit. Was it Karachi though? I thought it was First Circuit. What was the? There was a First Circuit one where he was filming on the side of the road. I thought it was first. I thought it was First Circuit. First Circuit Court of Appeals. Film from highway. Click. No, it wasn't Glick. It followed up on Glick. Giriki. What did I say it was? I thought I said it was Giriki. Garachi. I just spelled it wrong. It was Giriki. Giriki. She filmed from the side of a highway. First Court of Appeals. Giriki. They're on the South Stark Highway, yada yada. But I've fucking given you the citations. Giriki versus Begin. So there you go. There you go. Non-public forum. Non-public forum. Didn't even use the forum analysis. They just went straight to reasonable time, place, and manner. So there you go. Sorry for ignoring everybody. Morse versus Frederick is your favorite first day case, although it's about schools regulating speech off campus. Okay. All right. So back to the Toothless Wonder.
They are required to. But yeah, you're 100%. Because anybody in that kind of a government office has every expectation of privacy to be able to go in there and give up their personal identifiable information in order to receive the government benefits that they, as any other American, have a right to get. So what are the frauditors?
You don't have a right to get them. Once you have them, you have a right to keep them, but you don't have a right to get them. Maybe he's just using right colloquially.
We're saying now that these ladies, these parents, they don't have a right to feed and clothe their children.
No, you have a right to feed and clothe your children. You don't necessarily have a right to WIC benefits until you have them, and then you have a what is it? A property interest? No, it's a property interest in keeping it, right?
Without the frauditor getting paid for it?
It's not a liberty interest. There's three. Is it property interest? Life, liberty. It's not a life interest. It's not a liberty interest. It's got to be a property interest.
I mean, interesting. And hey, first interrupter, thank you again, brother. It's just really, really kind of sad. You know,
if he does, I am a sympathetic. I'm a sympathetic vomiter, just so everybody knows. If he does that thing where he like throws up in his mouth and chews it and swallows it, we're done. Just so you know, the stream will end right then and there. Gross.
No, but we're the grifters. Yeah, okay.
Yes, you, sir, are a grifter.
Oh, hey, don't wait. If you...
So Final Dad says, love how he's wearing his UT shirt while quoting law. Well, according to him, he fucking graduated law school from the University of Texas Law School. So there you go.
If you're still listening, K-FAR is going to take you apart starting in about 20.
Joe says it's a property interest. Goldman versus Kelly. Yeah, I got there. It's things aren't firing on all cylinders right now. I'm down to about a quarter of a.
3 minutes, bitch. Let's see here. I had something I wanted y'all to see.
His penis.
I saw this earlier, and it's what I like to call not quite the apocalypse extinction level event.
When is this motherfucker going to get to the defamation?
But it is in a way. Hey, Cast Graphics, what's up, brother? And if I missed anybody else coming in, my sincerest apologies.
I hope to God he missed everybody else coming in, because that roll call is annoying.
Let's see here. Y'all bear with me for a minute. I'm going to run and check on these because these contacts are misbehaving.
Internet guys is interesting. So did a lot. And make me drop off. How many you
Talk about grifting. This motherfucker. Oh, did he? Oh, hold on a second. Okay.
No, all right. This guy's the biggest clown. I really want to know what you.
This motherfucker plays other people's videos on a monetized video, but he's not a grifter, folks. He's not a grifter.
You gotta see. So let's come over here. Come on. You're
Joey Surreal. To actually fund that police station. A few weeks that you guys will absolutely.
So holy motherfucking. Some dude, and he put his goddamn name on it. Some dude gave Fraud at Wrangler $100. I'm sure to Wrangler that's a shit ton of money. This guy put it out on the internet. He wanted the I don't know. Words are hard right now. He wanted the gratitude of a felon so bad that he gave him $100 in public to show how much he loved this fucking felon so that he could hear this felon, I guess, slurp all over his YouTube noodle.
I guess the nicest way to say it. A lot of you are going to need some damn depends because some of this that's going to happen in the next few weeks will have you pissing yourselves laughing so hard. And, I want to, well, and so as far as what Fred Van Hoos just said.
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
Yes, absolutely, Miss Tomra. Couldn't agree more. Hey, Zortmaster. And what I said, up with one that is, you know, a little.
Somebody else gave him $100 too. Oh Jesus! Oh my God! You know, every day I'm amazed by how stupid people are. Every day I'm just amazed by how stupid people are. And then YouTube allows people who are really fucking stupid to not just be stupid, but to advertise to the world how fucking stupid they are. Amazed. Fucking amazed.
A little bit less offensive because we do have ladies in the chat. I don't mean that there are women in the chat. Yes, of course there's women in the chat, but we do have ladies in the chat, and I really do do my best to keep certain words out of my mouth when I'm up here. So
he doesn't keep Percocets out of his mouth when he's up there.
I promise y'all, and Kimmy can verify this, that I actually am what used to be known as a gentleman. I am.
I am a gentleman. Yes, I've been to prison twice. Yes, I have upcoming felony charges. But you know what? When I murdered a disabled Marine veteran, I did it. I said, "Excuse me, sir. May I please murder you?" And I waited for him to say, "Yes, thank you," before I did it.
Captain Clown, I doubt it. My guess is what he did, Captain Clown, is he probably at some point went and pawned the title on it, stopped making payments, and they repoed that bitch, and it wound up going at auction for probably $450. Just my thought. And David D, everybody.
Isn't it amazing how a guy who is stuck on house arrest, has no education, never leaves the house, spent a lot of time in prison. Isn't it amazing how fucking knowledgeable he is about everything? It's crazy. I mean, the amount of time that this gentleman spends studying at home must be amazing, because he's still allegedly going to educate us about defamation laws.
For $10 says, you are grifter, Wrangler, because Your cult, meaning us and we, have jobs and money. You don't have to ask for money because we love your channel. The frauditors can't handle that. Miss Angie Bates, so much. Y'all are just damn.
I guess I'm a frauditor.
The whole never once ever lose control. But I'm telling y'all right now, that if somebody like Joey Surreal threw their damn finger up like that in my wife's face, I'm telling you right now, he would probably be going to the ER to get it put back in place. And
what are you gonna do? You gonna jump up his butthole like the fat butt plug you are? What are you gonna do, Kaiser? You gonna have an epileptic seizure in front of him, make him feel bad? What are you going to do? No one thinks you are anything that is remotely dangerous, except to a disabled Marine veteran when you're armed and he's not.
I would probably be arranging bail. But that is...
You arranging bail my ass. If you violate your fucking conditions of release, you're gonna spend the rest of your time waiting for your goddamn trial in the fucking jail, dude. You're fucking bail. What the fuck you think? I just fell off the goddamn turnip truck or something. I should not drink on camera.
Some of the... That's... Dude, that ain't cool, man. You don't treat a lady like that. Period.
I keep saying Warren Munkadal. He's not on house arrest. He is on a part of the conditions of his release is he has to stay there because he's out of state. They need to be able to make sure that they know where the fuck he is.
Hey, Texas man. Again, congratulations, brother.
Why would you say something like that? Why would you say that I'm not part of the people? What people am I?
Don't complete mail like this.
This is just
Good love.
Does anybody ever get tired of the fucking cartoons and animated what the fucks that pussy ass bitches hide behind to make these videos? Like, who the fuck wants to look at this goddamn stupid ass fake owl? Like, put your fucking face on it. Like, there's a long time that I'm like, okay, internet anonymity is pretty good, but at the end of the day, like, if you're ashamed of what you're saying, maybe you should think about it. Fucking goddamn animated owl trying to educate people on shit, pretending like he's smart with fake equations and shit.
For her to meet dumbwaiter and Tiffy.
Peg Leg Finance asks a very pertinent, real question. He asks a serious question: what percentage of the channels on both sides of the fraudulent debate actually bring anything to the table? That is a loaded question because I don't know. I haven't done a serious. I mean, you have to watch so many channels, right? No one's ever going to do that. But here's the thing: the pro auditing side watches pro auditor content because they want content that affirms their belief that they're right. And the anti-auditor content consumers watch anti-auditor content because they believe that the anti-auditor side is right. And so they watch the shit that confirms their bias. How many times do you think that someone like Kaiser has come forward and said, hey, the charges were dropped on this person. Hey, this person just won a lawsuit. Hey, this person just got a fat ass settlement. Oh, and by the way, all three of these people are frauditors. He never does that. He talks about all the frauditor losses. And the frauditors talk about all the frauditor wins, right? Kaiser doesn't make a lot of mention about all the frauditors who go out and do all their recording, like Jeff Gray, and never get fucking arrested, right? Never get fucking arrested. He might be like, oh, I don't like these people or whatever, but he can't fucking wrap his head around, and he can't make his audience wrap their heads around the fact these fuckers aren't getting arrested because they're not breaking a motherfucking law. And the frauditors, the auditors, go out and they don't talk about all the times that the auditors lose. It's not the cartoon owl. It's people turn to this shit like they think they're going to actually learn something from it. I mean, I wonder what this pencil neck bitch behind the owl avatar looks like.
Can you imagine that going down? Coast to Coast Moving Man for 199 says, sounds like Joey found a member of Attorney Shield. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great. Coast to Coast Moving Man. Thank you so much. That's
Attorney Shield. So I haven't looked much into it, but people have been asking me about it. And I went to their website and I looked, and they've got an actual law firm on board. It's out of Florida. There's a logistical issue though. I don't know how the fuck if you get stopped at like 2 a.m. Pacific time, that'd be what, 5 a.m. Eastern time. But still, like if you get stopped at 2 o'clock in the morning in California, you think there's going to be a goddamn attorney just sitting there cracking his knuckles, waiting at the other end of the fucking phone for you to call because you got arrested, or you got detained or stopped or pulled over or whatever? The time that you least need an attorney, is during that initial stage. Because you don't want to be answering questions. So when if you haven't been arrested, say, I don't answer questions, and shut the fuck up. If you have been arrested and they want to ask you questions, say, I want an attorney. They have to be representing you at that point. Because it doesn't sound, just from what I've looked at their website, they're not representing you. And that's a key fucking distinction. You calling up and you getting some nameless attorney, in air quotes, attorney, to say, just shut the fuck up, don't answer their questions, and maybe let me talk to them and see if I can figure out what's going on. That's not representing you. So, but if you're holding this attorney out, alleged attorney, like people used to hold out, what was his name? What's that guy's name? Felipe Hemming. They used to hold him out. Oh, talk to my attorney, Felipe. Well, is your attorney present? Can they continue to ask you questions because your fucking attorney's on the phone? I mean, the beautiful thing about saying I want an attorney as soon as they arrest you is they can't fucking ask you any more goddamn questions until they have your attorney there with you, and then your attorney can just look you in the eye and say, shut the fuck up and don't answer any questions.
good point. Glenn Harlow for 199. Joey is such a mentally challenged F.
Monkadal says, read the terms of services in Attorney Shield. They don't stand behind anything, and you can't do First Amendment auditing and use Attorney Shield. I didn't know that you couldn't do the First Amendment auditing. I didn't read that. But yeah, but basically you get to call them and be like, hey, police want to search my house. What do I do? You tell them no. If they have a warrant, they'll fucking come in anyway. But if they ask you, you tell them no. This isn't rocket science. You don't fucking help them convict you, bro.
Well, yeah, man, look, when I lived in California, when I was,
Paul says it's a bit unfair to criticize Kaiser's mom's ability to cut her. I doubt she's a trained barber. I'm gonna say that I wouldn't put it on his mom that she cut his hair. I would put it on Kaiser that Kaiser cut his hair. That's a Kaiser motherfucking haircut.
10 and 11 years old. All right, I skateboarded, I surfed, and I dressed like a damn skate.
You surfed. You fucking sat in your room with shoving Legos up your ass until no more would fit, dude. You are not Captain Physical Exertion. You're not Captain Skateboarder. You're not Captain Surfer. You're Captain Sit on a fucking couch with your dick in your hand. Not that there was anything wrong with that.
Skateboarder. But here's the thing. I was actually participating, and it was the style at the time. So if you're in 2024 and you were 50, 51 years old, and you really don't need...
If you're in 2024, if you're in current year, and you're 50 years old, or however the fuck old Kaiser is, don't cut your own fucking hair. Get a job. I don't know. Get actual married, not pretend married. Live with your wife. Or at least in the same goddamn state as your wife. Don't live with your mom, Kaiser. Who the fuck are you to be giving people life advice? Captain, I cut my own hair. What the fuck?
To be dressing like you're Tony Hawk during the Clinton impeachment. And I'm sorry, but no one.
This motherfucker is dressed up LARPing as a graduate of the University of Texas. And he's talking about other people dressing in a style to which he does not believe that they should be. Fuck him.
No real person. No established person. No successful person.
Like Kaiser knows a goddamn thing about successful people. The only successful people Kaiser has ever seen have been in fucking movies and TV.
Is going to take you seriously if you go into an actual government professional building dressed like this with a damn...
Oh, yeah, but people are going to take you seriously, Kaiser, because you come into a government building dressed in an orange goddamn jumpsuit, wearing silver bracelets. You fucking buffoon.
Tramp stamp tattooed on your throat. It's not going to happen.
But I got stolen valor tattooed on my arms. Doesn't he have like an MP tattoo and like a giant penis tattoo that's leave no one behind or some shit? Doesn't he have an MP fucking hat back on his wall? Didn't he pretend that he was an MP, that he went to Afghanistan, that he was a fucking ranger, that he did all sorts of shit, and in reality, he just fucking daydreamed it while he was high on perks?
I mean... And Glenn Harlow, everybody, for $1.99.
Look at this. Look at this motherfucker. Glenn Harlow pays $2 because he thinks that he has something of value to say. He wants Kaiser to read it. And he knows any money, you give a junkie any money and a junkie's happy, right? So any money, and he's going to get Kaiser's attention, and Kaiser's going to read it and put it up. So Glenn Harlow gets to feel good about himself, like he's contributed to the conversation, like he's added something of value to the conversation. And all he's got is Joey is such a mentally challenged elf. Who the fuck are you telling this to? You're a goddamn moderator. I see the wrench. You're a goddamn moderator on a fucking multi-time felons channel who's got a fucking animated owl up on his screen.
And Glenn Harlow.
Glenn Harlow again. Glenn Harlow giving us those hard-hitting baseball scores. I'm assuming you're baseball. It's baseball season, right?
Everybody for $1.99. Braves 7, Red Sox 3, 7th inning.
Am I misreading that, or is he?
Rock on, Glenn Harlow. Thank you, brother. And Bruce Mac order for $5. Quick.
Bruce McHorter gave him $5 to make everybody belly laugh with the hilarious statement, hilarious in air quotes, "Quick, Joey, throw your trifold out, save yourself." Wow. Wow. Give me a one in chat if you laughed over Bruce McHorter. Give me one in chat. Give me one in chat if you laughed over Bruce McHorter. That was my best E-line. I'm talking to my sidebar right now. Unlike a lot of live streamers, I like to engage with my sidebar, hoping that they give me the $2 donations so that I can send my daughter to college, a place that I didn't go to. Fucking hell.
Hey, Joey, throw your trifold out. Save yourself.
Oh,
thank you, bro. That's shit right there, buddy. That's fantastic. Thank you. Exactly, Furmissile. Oh, my Lord.
Furmissile. Some motherfucker unironically calls himself Furmissile.
Lord. David D, everyone, for $10 says no, because Chrissy would find a way to suicide it and then punch her like a woman beater that he is known to be. Let's see.
They're not even funny. They're giving him money. So, like, if you were actually funny, if you're actually insightful, if you were actually interesting, you wouldn't have to give him money. Hot tip, folks. I don't give Josh money. I mean, I've given him the D, and he liked it, but I've never given him money. And he puts my comments up there. I'm going to assume because I'm either insightful, or I'm funny, or I'm interesting, or some combination thereof. The man has no gag reflex, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, I think I have something for that, actually. And, yeah, it's going again.
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
And,
Challenge accepted.
yeah.
And you know what the weird thing is? That Josh is normally blasted out of his goddamn mind on dope, meaning like the marijuanas. He's probably like 3 or 4 marijuanas deep in all of his streams. And he's way quicker on the little sound clips and shit. Stowe or Shadow Warden says, I bet these guys with a weird apostrophe. Guy possessive? I bet these whatever are using their moms with no apostrophe credit cards for these super chats? Well, I mean, I don't know. They're supporting someone who lives with his mom, so maybe they live with their mom too. Jerry Falwell Jr. says, I do tend to watch Merv, and I respect his opinion because he's an actual attorney. Oh, I'm not an actual attorney. I'm a first-year family law attorney, not an actual attorney. Get it right. Jeebus Crisp says, who is the frauditor content guy who used to do audits? I thought it was this dude, a frauditor guy who used to do audits. Oh, no. That's Stout, and Stout. The pro se law offices of Stout, and Stout. Never Too Soon says, Glenn Harlow is a real vet at that. 2 deployments to a combat zone. He is a cook that watched over Indian dudes in the DFAC. Was that someone who gave money? Imagine being on a military retirement pension and giving your money to a stolen valor guy. How fucking humiliating would that be if you were smart enough to understand how humiliating it should be? Oh, I'm sorry. We're supposed to be watching this.
Yeah, thank you, David D. But yeah, guys, I just could not pass up this video. It was too good.
I couldn't pass it up because it was too good. You mean because you could play it and monetize it and get paid for playing it? Too good.
Recording and record for the sake of YouTube. Even the sovereign says
Any other constitutional rights? None. Constitutional freedom is
freedom of religion. This is free press.
And guess what? That, like any other constitutional freedom, is also subject to time, place, and manner.
Any other constitutional freedom is subject to time, place, and manner restraints? I don't know about that. The prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment. Do you think that that's subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions? Your right to an attorney for any criminal action where you get sentenced to a day or more in jail. You think that's subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions? What kind of fucking moron are you, dude?
In no way.
And when are we going to get to the goddamn defamation?
In no way is any of our civil rights, our constitutional rights, none are a free-for-all. It's just not, and it's never going to be. All right? And
this motherfucker's happy about it. Yeah, the government's always going to be fucking cranking down on us and restricting our rights and freedoms. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, because fuck your freedoms. Yeah. We live in a society where you get to go fuck yourself, and the government gets to fuck you because I went to prison twice, and I'm a douche.
It's never going to be a free-for-all. It's never going to be bedlam. It's just not going to, regardless of how many frauditors get sent to prison.
We have a right to hold the government accountable and show transparency within our government. Just put it in those words. And have a right to go in there and document. What are you talking about? Are we have a tape for this?
I feel confident in saying that Joey here has never ever had a W-2. If a W
You think someone has never worked for hourly wage or anything like that? Like, I'm sure that he. I mean, it would be unlikely that anybody has never had a job.
W-2 ever showed up in his mailbox, it would be because he had to give it to his neighbor because it was put there by mistake. I mean, you don't have time for this. And Coach,
Has anybody ever laughed? Anybody, any person, ever laughed at a Wrangler joke? Has anybody even like chuckled, slightly guffawed, been amused, cracked a smile, thought, over a Wrangler joke? Anybody? I'm not trying to be like a dick or anything. Like, he is so far off of the spectrum of amusing.
Coast Moving Man for $4.99 says, how is Joey going to handle this? I think I need to say something about this because I've been noticing, some comments here in the last few days. And
I've been noticing comments. Well, that says a lot. I mean, all you fucking do in this stream, instead of talking about defamation, which you were supposed to, is read comments.
And I thought that I had been incredibly clear on something. And Coast to Coast Moving Man, thank you very much.
I thought I'd been incredibly clear on something. And thank you so and so and so and so for giving up money, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so yeah, I finished with that point. Like, how about, Kaiser, since you're too fucking stupid to multitask like this, how about you answer or you address the point that you thought you were going to address, or answer the question you thought you were going to answer, and then go back to the super chat? How about you do it that way so that you can get, I mean, I'm not saying that you could have a coherent thought, but at least then you have a better shot at actually stating a coherent thought. Nasty Nate, we should go out for margaritas, but not tonight because I am about done for tonight, if you know what I mean.
Very much. And I thought that nobody had any questions of where I stand on it and where the channel stands officially. We don't shame anyone.
You don't shame anyone? Well, I mean, unless you've been convicted of loitering, or unless you're a private investigator who goes to work as a private investigator wearing shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops. I mean, in those cases, we'll fucking shame you. But outside of that, no shame. No shame. None whatsoever. Well, I mean, if you've gotten 63 people to complain about you while you're a corrections officer, then we'll shame you. But other than that, we won't shame you. Unless you submit a complaint against a police officer, then we'll shame you. But other than that, we won't shame you. Like, okay, dude.
Anyone. 4.
Unless you get a tattoo on your neck, then we'll shame you. Unless you have never had a W-2, then we'll shame you.
What that particular person decides to knock boots with at the end of the day in the privacy of their own bed.
Oh, that didn't go exactly where I thought it was going to go. Do you ever go to court wearing a thong, ass orange cones, under my my suit pants? Well, you got to buy me dinner to find out. We'll never shame anyone for who they knock boots with. We'll never shame anyone for who they knock boots with. I'm just gonna rely on chat. I don't really pay attention to Mr. Kaiser, but I'm going to guess that if it was a frauditor, in his words, auditor, my words, I would guess that if you are in a relationship with a auditor, you're going to be mocked. If you are knocking boots with an auditor, you're going to be mocked. If you're not dressed right and you're seen in the company of an auditor, it's going to be insinuated that you're knocking boots with that auditor, and you're going to be mocked. I'm just guessing. Just guessing.
Provided that person that they're knocking boots with is of age, consenting, and sober enough to consent. Other than that,
Of age, consenting, and sober enough to consent. How would you know? Are you in the room with them? Seems kind of weird. But okay.
not everyone. I don't care. I make fun of of Lana because Lana is an absolute piece of shit of a human being.
Do you make fun of Lana for who she has sex with? Just curious.
All right, and that is what I will.
Someone is live streaming my live stream? Oh, that's terrible, Juan. Terrible. Terrible. Don't care.
Focus on with my ridiculement and my critique and my criticism of Lana. I do not care.
I hope it's Stone Vet. Is it Stone Vet? I'm gonna check. I hope Stone Vet is doing one of his stream snipes. That'd be fucking bomb ass if I was getting stream sniped by Stone Vet stream sniping me. Yes! Fucking called it! Yeah! That's right. But you know who the prettiest person on Stone Vet's channel is right now? Me. Fuck you, Stone Vet. You wish you were as pretty as I was. Show your hair, Stone Vet.
About the particulars of expression that Lana chooses to go with. All right.
This guy's like
has
fucking watching paint dry, by the
that
way.
right, both in the Constitution and in what is now the Civil Rights Act, in '64 and then amended in '65, and it's been amended several since then. She has those rights. I respect them. Now, yes, I am going to laugh my ass off, everyone, at the Lana spelled backwards.
Isn't it kind of ironic that a man who's shaped like a butt plug has an ass? Wouldn't that be ironic? Wouldn't that be ironic if a man shaped like a butt plug with all of the intellectual sophistication of an anal suppository would have an ass?
Because that's funny as hell. And I'll tell you right now, to me, it would not matter if Russie was using that name, if Mangirdle was using that name, Dumbwaiter was using that name. I wouldn't care. I would still be having fun. And that's what makes that the funniest part, is that is the name that Lana chose. Okay, Lana chose Lana. All right, that's all her.
Jesus Christ. Get to the goddamn defamation, bro.
And yes, I think a lot of us, when that came out, I think a lot of us may have gone a little junior high with it, just because mainly of all of the shit that we've had to suffer through from them. All the humiliation.
So we can excuse it when we do it? Is that really? Is that where we're going? It's okay when we do it because we have an excuse for it? Is that your fucking argument? Because Paul says, Merb, you're apparently one of those rare YouTubers who talks about the subject of your live stream. So one of my plans was to do a stream of Eline, because Eline did this stream that was purportedly like a encapsulation of first year contract law. And I'm like, cool, right? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna have like an hour's worth of like crunchy material to show exactly how stupid Eline is. And then one of my viewers, somebody in my Discord, maybe he views me, maybe he doesn't. I don't really know. Don't really care. But in my Discord, he likes to watch Eline. I don't know why, but he likes to watch Eline. And he's like, man, don't even bother. It's like 10 minutes of him talking about contracts, and then like he goes into right wing fantasy bullshit going on, and it's just irritating. Like, why do people say they're going to educate people about the law or whatever if they're not going to do it? Why do you put in your title? We talk about grifting. Grifting is putting in your title that you're going to talk about one topic and then not talking about it. That's grifting. To me, that's grifting. Especially if you're making money on it and you've made a couple $100 on it so far.
And the loss of dignity, the indignation that their victims had to suffer. Yeah, it felt justified. But I won't ever, my judgments, my ridiculement of anyone like Lana. And y'all will pardon me, I'm not sure that I don't know what the
Spit it out, fucker.
right, correct terminology is to use at the moment. And so I'm not going to further insult somebody by using the wrong one. But my ridiculement of Lana is simply because of the lying, grifting, frauding trash that Lana is. As a person, I respect Lana just like I do any other person.
I just insulted you 9 ways to Tuesday, but as a person, I fucking respect you.
And I guarantee y'all this. How do I know? How do I know? Because if
How do you know what? No one ever asks you what the fuck you know, bro. No one has ever asked you what the fuck you know.
well, you know what? They already did. The info, the intelligence that I have on Lana
You ain't got no intelligence on anything, let alone Lana.
and Rusty, I would like to say that if they had it, they would put it out about me. I guess the correct thing to say is,
Well, but see, it's still shit information. Everything you've said about Rusty, shit. I assume Rusty's GT, right? Am I wrong on that? Maybe I'm wrong on that. But the shit you got on GT, it's all bullshit. Like, you know what? If you had a goddamn argument, I'd be the guy who'd say, you've got an argument, right? But you don't. You don't. The best you got is there have been 63 complaints made about him. Not 63 people who complained, but 63 complaints. That's all you got. You are digging so hard trying to build a mountain out of a fucking hole. And you keep digging. It's stupid.
if they had had it first, they would have put it out about me. My family's addresses, my family's phone numbers. Emailing my brother at both his work and private.
No, Orange Cone. Sunset is that away. So it would be in front of me. He's talking about protecting his family, the family he doesn't have. The wife he doesn't have. I guess he has a mom. So protecting his mom. Let's listen to the man talk about how he's going to protect his family.
Put it out about me. I guess the correct thing to say is if they had had it first, they would have put it out about me. My family's ad.
But really, if they had it, maybe they would have put it out about you. I mean, Josh likes to put out shit that I personally think is pretty fucking stupid, but it's true from what I can understand most of the time. But let's say Josh found out that you had a loitering conviction, a fucking misdemeanor loitering conviction. Do you think anybody would actually care about that? Like, people, oh God, I almost said people aren't fucking retarded, but they are. But the people who matter in life can generally see the shades of gray. And they can distinguish between, I don't know, a felony conviction and a misdemeanor conviction. They can distinguish between someone smoking pot, which is a federal offense, but may be legal in the state that he's in. They can distinguish between that and, I don't know, fucking sucking down Percocets all day. They can distinguish. They can see the dissimilarities between them. Yes, you can make an argument, well, they're both drugs, they're both Schedule I drugs or whatever. But we can see the difference. Like, the danger of Josh overdosing on the marijuanas is somewhere between slim and none. The danger of you overdosing on Percocets is significantly higher. The danger of Josh getting any significant jail time for his recreational use of the marijuana is very low. The possibility of you, someone who is currently on bail, getting significant consequences for your use of Percocet, fairly high. Last I checked, it was a felony in Oklahoma. Pro tip, I haven't checked, but I'll bet you that misuse of prescription medications, especially opiates, is going to be a felony in Oklahoma. They'll probably give you just a slap on the wrist unless you're a, I don't know, 2-time felon already with, 5 pending felony charges? I'm just guessing. They're going to treat you a tad bit different than Josh. We can see the difference. Real people can see the difference between you and Josh. Like, I'm not a fan of Josh because he smokes the reefer. I don't smoke the marijuanas. I don't really like people who smoke the marijuanas. But I can understand the difference between people who smoke the marijuanas and people who suck down Percocets. There's a quantitative and qualitative difference. What the fuck? Why is there a goddamn heart thing? Who put that there? And who's the gay ass motherfucker who's smashing the hearts? Stop that shit. You're grossing me out. You're ruining my cred. I'm pretending I'm not homo. No homo. It's Gay Pride Month. Hey!
Addresses, my family's phone numbers. Emailing
My address. People are putting on my family's address. No one gives a fuck about your family, motherfucker.
at both his work and private emails.
5 times murder for 34th and 5 open felonies.
Threatening to try to get him fired from his job if he didn't disown me.
No one fucking like. Oh my god. The kind of person who's going to threaten to get somebody fired from their job if they don't disown you is the exact kind of person without the power to get you fucking fired. Anybody fucking fired. Jesus goddamn Christ.
Trying to threaten.
I'm gay, but I'm not pressing it. Well, motherfucker, if I was good looking enough, you would. So what are you trying to say? You trying to say I'm ugly? Fuck you. You want the dick.
My father. Sending criminally harassing letters to my neighbors, to my mother.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Who did that? Oh, old Sarge. And what's funny is that dumbwaiter actually drove.
It's really hard for me to see Kaiser as the martyr. It's really hard for me to see Kaiser. Fuck you. Everybody press that fucking button. Fuck you. Every last one of you. You suck. But Kaiser pretending to be a martyr is just gay, dude. Just gay.
To Nashville. He actually drove to Nashville to mail it. That's what's funny. So, anyway, I apologize for the rabbit hole, guys. But as I said, I've noticed in the comments the last few nights.
Yes, Nate, I do remember. We had it in that little railroad car. What do they call that? That's a real nice place. I liked it. They had excellent food there. I had a steak there of some sort. Nate and I had lunch in this little. It's like a rail car that they had stuck up in the middle of San Francisco, and it was Portuguese food, I think. But they had a delightful steak, and yeah, it was pleasant. It was very pleasant. After the Gay Pride Parade. Yeah, I went to the Gay Pride Parade. So what?
And a few emails that I've gotten lately, and I felt it important to everyone to know where I stand on that. Okay.
No one gives a shit where you stand on that because you're so full of shit.
And I'm not singling anybody out at all. All right. But because of some of the comments that have been coming at me the last few days, after all of this, and I'll be the first to admit, some people probably went overboard on,
the grub steak. Yeah, the grub steak was pretty good. I haven't been there since 2019, but it was delightful. If you're in San Francisco, try the grub steak. Delightful little place. Charming. The staff was very nice, pleasant folks, and the food was delightful. They had beer and wine, and it was just all around a lovely little place to have a meal.
Comments and emails and them reaching out with their criticism to Russie and Lana. But here's the thing. Russie has brought that all on himself. Claims to be about transparency and accountability, but he sits there and commits perjury every time he puts out a false copyright strike against me.
He commits perjury every time he puts out a false copyright strike. Well, so you have 2 assumptions there. Number 1, that he committed perjury. Number 2, that it's a false copyright strike. Just because he doesn't follow it up with a lawsuit doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't actually have a valid copyright claim. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But last I checked, you're the kind of person who would have told us if he'd actually been prosecuted and convicted of perjury. He has not been prosecuted and convicted of perjury, and therefore I would suggest to you, sir, that maybe you're getting a little bit of cart before the horse syndrome by suggesting that he's committed perjury.
me. And what, the other 9 or 10 channel owners that he did that to, why did he do it? Because they were holding him accountable.
They were holding him accountable? I don't think you can hold him accountable. I think you can make videos about him. But aren't you the same douchebag who was just previously in the stream, generally speaking, exhorting people to sign a petition to get somebody's video taken down because it had kids in it or something like that? Like, you're the same. You're that same person, right? I mean, you're such a piece of shit. You're such a hypocritical piece of shit.
Like I said, hypocrisy. Thy name be frauded.
No, hypocrisy. Thy name be Michael Kaiser, the stolen valor motherfucker. The guy who pretends that he went to University of Texas and adorns himself with University of Texas merchandise and yet never went to fucking University of Texas. The guy who passes judgment on people for having fucking misdemeanor loitering convictions when he's got at least 2 stints in prison and pending felonies. Fucking Christ.
And that's just all there is to it. But you know what I wanted tonight, but like I said, I needed JJ up here. So the main goal of what tonight was, we will, pass on. I figure the rest of the
Oh my fucking God. This whole time he needed JJ up there in order for him to talk about defamation? Why didn't any of you motherfuckers tell me? Why didn't any of you motherfuckers tell me? You sons of bitches. I bet every last one of you motherfuckers knew.
stream, we'll just kick it and just have a good time. But what I initially wanted to do tonight, and I understand that because of JJ's responsibilities.
I understand that because JJ gets lots of complaints at the jail that he runs because he's just a fucking jailer.
That he won't always be able to get done with his elected duties and get in front of a computer just to hang with us, and I'm fine with that. I respect him for that.
Too busy roughing up inmates because they did complaints about him.
I thank him for him honoring the oath he took when he was
He's honoring the oath he took. I've heard some shit from Josh. I'll let Josh explain it because honestly, I don't really pay attention much because all that fucking bullshit, fuck your cousin kind of bullshit that is going on down there where JJ's from. I don't know about it. Apparently, JJ is like fucking one person that works for him, and he has like a fucking valid complaint that is being investigated by the county commission or whatever for some other shit. But it's all some toothless redneck bullshit, and I really don't care about it. So I'm just gonna say that that I would love to see JJ's bona fides. I would love to see his curriculum vitae to show why he has any fucking special insight on defamation laws, prosecuting a defamation cause of action, knowing the elements of a defamation claim. I would love to see it. What skill, what education does fucking JJ have to teach this shit? But, thanks a lot, motherfuckers, for not telling me that it wasn't going to happen tonight. I am done with this fucking idiot. Thank you for watching. I say that with a bit of a grain of salt because fuck you for not telling me.